but not everything is controlling the impact. Okay, the responsibilities of all the institutions and entities that will manage the public expenditure is to ensure the most efficient use of the public resources. What is the best way to manage the fiscal risk, to attend this obligation, this responsibility? Is to minimize, no? That's pretty clear. Is to minimize the fiscal risk, is to minimize the fiscal impact. And fiscal management, fiscal impact management, we will see then how it is not just controlling. The control will be established when we approve the project. But the management should be extended backwards in the cycle and forwards or onwards in the cycle, in the life cycle of a particular project. Backwards, I mean before project approval, before the specific control, we should select sound projects that are affordable. This is not about PPPs. I mean, in the very beginning of a project cycle, even if it's going to be a PPP, in the very beginning is the identification of the project, the identification of the technical solution for a particular need that the society has. And I need to identify which is the most suitable project, the response for that need. Well, first of all, I need to be sure that there is a need, and then select the most adequate response to that need. It can be a road, it can be a light rail, it can be a metro, it can be an airport, it can be, okay, for a certain need for mobility. And when I select the project that I want to proceed with, I should be sure that is creating value for the taxpayer, so creating a positive cost benefit. And I should be sure that it's affordable in overall terms, that the size of the project is commensurate with my budgetary capacity in overall terms. Then I can keep on protecting fiscal sustainability by means of screening the PPP adequacy. Can I think that is value for money to do this particular project as a PPP? Can I think that the net benefit, the net cost benefit for the society will be increased if I do this as a PPP? Otherwise, I should not proceed with the project as a PPP. That the best way to protect the overall affordability is avoiding doing a project as a PPP when the PPP is not going to add value. Then, and this is the cycle of a PPP, no? When I am appraising, I should appraise to be sure how feasible is the project in all fronts. And I should be sure that I am preparing the project and structuring the project to maximize value for money. And after approving, after controlling, onwards, I should still managing the fiscal risk, implementing effectively the PPP structure in the contract in a clear manner, subjecting the project to competition to create efficiencies by means of the tender, and managing the contract, managing the project through the life of the contract to ensure that risks are properly managed, so I mitigate its value, and also to ensure that funds are adequately appropriated. The big point here to me is that economic feasibility and value for money are two incredible safeguards for fiscal sustainability. Let's put a little bit of a spotlight into the structuring part and how it is related to fiscal impact assessment, which I will do in order to control the fiscal sustainability when I approve a project, how it is linked to other feasibility exercises. We can see how important it is to structure a project. And when I am structuring a project, it has three dimensions. The first dimension is the technical structure. For a certain scope that is detailed in technical requirements, okay, I am influencing directly the direct liabilities, the payments that I will have to make, okay? or I am influencing the affordability for the users, because that will influence the level of tariff or tolls that I have to put. Okay, and the biggest is the project, the PPP project, the highest is going to be the expenditure, so the higher is going to be the payments by me or by the users. I need to take care about this. And also the technical structure, by defining detailing the scope of works to be done by the private party, is framing the risk allocation, because I should only transfer risks regarding the responsibilities that I am transferring. Then we have the risk allocation structure, which is nuancing responsibilities, looking for exceptions for risks that I should retain. Okay, so I'm sharing the financial consequences only of a particular set of risks. Risk allocation will define the contingent liabilities, and the driver should be maximizing value for money. Remember, more risk transfer doesn't mean less fiscal burden. It's not true, necessarily, okay? Because when I'm transferring risks, the private party is going to charge a risk premium. So when they are asking for a price, an availability payment, this price is going to be increased. When I am transferring risks, I am diminishing contingent liabilities in exchange of higher direct liabilities. If this trade-off is positive, that will be explained by the value for money. If the value for money is positive for a certain risk transfer, that means that the value of that risk for the private sector is lower than the value of that risk for me if I keep that risk. Okay? So value for money should be the driver to decide which is the exact risk allocation that I want, because there is always a trade-off between direct liabilities and contingent liabilities. And then we have the financial structure. The financial structure is outlining the affordability intertemporally. For example, I can diminish the amount of my liabilities per year by extending the contract term. But if I extend the contract term in net present value terms, the overall amount of PPP liabilities is going to increase. In net present value is going to increase if I have more years to pay, because we are accruing more financial costs. But it's true that this year by year is more affordable. So you see, we are shaping the affordability in intertemporal terms. Okay, financial structure will define the direct liabilities. It's going to be linked to availability, it's going to be linked to volume. Direct liabilities, I can split a portion of the liabilities as payments during construction, and then I will diminish the payments during operations, or I can concentrate everything, direct liabilities, everything during operations as a availability payment. So I'm shaping the affordability in intertemporary terms. And the structuring should look for a balance between three restrictions or objectives. A project should be affordable, no? And a PPP project should be, in addition to be affordable, should be bankable and viable for the market. But we know that a project as a PPP should create value for money. And value for money clashes with bankability. Bankability will always be protected, privileged by means of more risk retention, a lower risk transfer, okay? But if I protect too much bankability, I could be retaining more risks than otherwise I should. I could be retaining risks that it would be value for money if I transfer them, even if I am putting at risk a little bit of bankability. So in the end, I need to look for a balance, and that is the space of an appropriate fiscal management process together with value for money and bankability, which is looking for projects that are affordable, value for money, and bankable. The three things at the same time.